Good morning, students. This is Seth Vidya Mandir, English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce. This is the HSC Online Audio Video Lecture Series, and I'm Bina Raikar, your history teacher. I'm continuing with chapter number 6, Social Responsibilities of Business. This is the sixth video which I have done on this chapter, and today I'm going to explain to you responsibilities towards government. Students, business operates within a society. It uses resources of society. It depends on various factors of society for its function. Land, water, and other resources, that is, factors of production required by business units, are owned by society. Requirements of capital and financial needs are supported by investors, who are members of society. Without employees and customers, business units cannot function. So, all the activities of business should be performed in such a manner that they will not harm any part of society. Rather, they will protect and contribute to the interest of society. So, social responsibilities refer to all such duties, obligations of business directed towards welfare of society. Profit making is not the sole function. Government provides incentives for industrialization. Government has passed many acts and has laid down many rules and regulations for this purpose. It also declares various policies related to business. For example, government has passed policy for entry of foreign traders in retail trade. So, these are the following responsibilities of business organization towards government. And what are those responsibilities, students? First is timely payment of taxes. Second, observing rules and regulations. Third, earning foreign exchange. Fourth, economic development. Fifth, implementing socio-economic policies. Sixth, suggestions to the government. Seventh, no favors. Eighth, contributing to government treasury. Okay, I'm repeating again all the responsibilities. Number 1, timely payment of taxes. Number 2, observing rules and regulations. Number 3, earning foreign exchange. Number 4, economic development. Number 5, implementing socio-economic policies. Number 6, suggestion to the government. Number 7, no favors. And number 8, contributing to government treasury. Let's go to the first one. Timely payment of taxes. The government has levied various taxes on business units, such as excise duty, sales tax, corporate tax. Okay, business units should give proper information of product and pay taxes accurately as per the provisions. The tax revenue helps the government to provide infrastructure and other welfare facilities, because without this taxes it will be very difficult for the government to undertake development projects. The second responsibility is observing rules and regulations. Business units should follow various laws and regulations created by government. While setting up the business, they must follow guidelines set up by the government. However, they can make suggestions to government to modify the rules if it is in interest of the society. They should conduct business in lawful manner. This helps in smooth conduct of activities of corporate sectors. That is, the business should follow laws regarding obtaining license for a specified business, the operations of the business, price determination and production, etc. See, here you have these licenses over here. It is Food Safety and Standards. Okay, it is Authority of India. Then you have the basics, that is the life and health insurance license. So licenses have to be taken. So Licenses are nothing but rules and regulations created by the government for the businessmen. The third one is to earn foreign exchange. Large scale business should enter in export trade to earn foreign exchange. Okay, they should enable the government to import capital goods and technical know-how. All rules and regulations pertaining to import and exports should be strictly followed. The government requires this foreign exchange for importing various goods, valuable and important products. The next one is economical development. Government sets targets for balanced and rapid economic development. Okay, and business organizations should provide necessary cooperation to the government. Since the government provides them with policies that will enhance or that will raise their profit level, maximize their profit level, naturally in return the business organizations should cooperate with the government so that the government has an economic development, a rapid economic development. The next one is implementing socio-economic policies. The government expects the business organizations to cooperate and help in implementing the socio-economic programs and the policies. I have listed out some socio-economic programs for you. These are, first one, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Okay, it is an individual above age 10 years and does not have a bank account can open a bank account without depositing any money. Second one is Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. Okay, it is a small deposit saving scheme for a girl child. After the girl reaches 18 years of age, she can withdraw 50% of the amount for marriage or higher studies. The third one is Pradhan Mantri Mudra, okay, Yojana. Okay, that is especially for the micro units development and refinance agencies. Okay, the main objective of this Yojana is to provide financial support for growth of micro enterprises sector. In the previous videos, I have explained to you what is micro units development and the micro enterprises sector. The fourth one is Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. The main objective is to provide accidental insurance cover to all Indian citizens. Next one is Atal Pension Yojana. Okay, its aim was increasing the number of pension schemes beneficiaries across the country. Okay, the scheme is specially targeted to the private unorganized sector and is open to all Indian citizens between the age of 18 to 40 years. The sixth one is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Okay, that is achieving housing for all by the year 2022. That is 2 crore in urban and 3 crore homes in the rural areas is the main objective of this Yojana. There are many, but I have just put up 10 Yojanas over here. The seventh is the Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. Socio-cultural, economic, infrastructure development in the villages. Okay, development, and a model village will be called as the Adarsh Gram. Then the eighth one is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Naturally, Fasal Bima Yojana, so the main objective is to provide insurance cover to Rabi and Kharif crops. Then the ninth one is Pradhan Mantri Gram Sinchai Yojana. Okay, that is main objective is irrigating the fields of even farmer and improving water use efficiency. Okay, that is per drop more crop, that is the slogan. And the 10th one is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. The main objective is to implement the pre-poor welfare schemes in more effective way and reach out to the more poor population across the country. So these are the 10 schemes which I have told you to develop the socio-economic program policies, and the government expects the business organization to cooperate and help them in these policies. Then suggestions to the government. The business organizations can provide suggestions to the government, okay, before framing important policies such as industrial policy, import export policy, licensing policy. Now, trade policy is prepared and announced by the central government, and India's export import policy, also known as a foreign trade policy, aims at developing export potential, improving export performances, encouraging social trade, and creating favorable balance of payment positions. Balance of payment, remember last year economics I had explained to you what is balance of payment. These suggestions are very helpful for framing organization friendly policies. Okay students, so a business organizations can give suggestions to the government. Now industrial licensing, here I have given some licensing as to which factory, which business licensing is compulsory, okay, that is coal, petroleum, then alcohol, sugar, animal fats, cigarettes, tobacco, plywoods, veneers, then blackboards, fiberboards, then raw hides and skins, leather industries, motor car industries, hazardous chemicals industries, then paper and newsprint. All these need licensing. Similarly, you have electronic, aerospace, defense equipment, then you have explosives, gunpowder, then you have drugs and pharmaceuticals, then you have electronic items, entertainment, TV, VCR, tape recorders. Then you have white goods. White goods are your refrigerators, dishwashing machine, microwaves. Okay, these are called as white goods. So all these industries, all these business organizations require license to work. If they don't have proper license, then they won't get to continue with their business. Then the seventh one is no favors. That is, the business organizations should not take any favors from the government officials by bribing them or by influencing them. Okay. Eighth one is contributing to government treasury. That is, organizations should contribute funds to the government when there are emergencies, when there are natural calamities like floods, earthquake, and when the government requires financial help. Business organizations should come forward and give funds to the government. I hope till here you have understood, students. Okay, now we'll just revise again those responsibilities. First one was timely payment of taxes. Second is observing rules and regulations. Rules and regulations laid down by the government. Then earning foreign exchange so that the government can import more goods, more valuable goods. Next is economic development. Then implementing socio-economic policies. I have given you the 10 examples of socio-economic policies where the government expects the business organizations to cooperate and help them in these policies. Then suggestions to the government. The business organizations can give valuable suggestions to the government. No favors, that is no bribing government officials and no returning any favors to them. And contributing to government treasuries, that is contributing funds in case of emergencies, in case of earthquakes, tsunamis, etc. Okay students, so with this I have explained you the responsibilities of government. Thank you.